So hello guys, today marks another day of me trying to learn about Roblox game development. But before that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing for the last few weeks, which is this. So without further ado, speed up time. So yeah guys, I'm done for today. As you can see, this is today's progress. And I'll go first because my OBS will crash like always. And I'll need to pick up my little brother. So see you guys later. So guys, I just finished doing my tasks in the real world. It's time to go back to the virtual world, which is this Roblox studio game development studying day 8, starting advanced, super. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's fine. It's fine. Because this video and this tutorial, in this study session, we'll learn about advanced scripting tutorial. Advanced. Let's go. Thank you, Brawl Dev. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll learn. I'll learn well, okay? I'll learn from you. You. I'm talking to you. Everyone and Brawl Dev to be exact because I watch your video. It's really good. Really good. And yeah, I'll finish it. I'll finish it and make a game, okay? Okay, watch me. Watch me. Let's start.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the first episode of my Roblox Advanced Scripting tutorial series. And if you haven't checked out my beginner scripting tutorial guide I made a few months back, then I would highly suggest you watch that one first before watching this one, because we're going to be uncovering more complicated and more advanced topics in regards to Roblox scripting. So if you think you're ready, then you're basically on the right track to becoming a top-tier Roblox developer. And I figured
Top tier Roblox developer, yeah. Yeah. I'm ready. Let's go.
for the first episode, I think it would be important to discuss about local scripts and the server client model, because you're going to be knowing about this model for basically the entire time you're going to be developing games on Roblox. So this is going to be a very important one. So any Roblox game, regardless of whether it allows more than one player per server or not, follows a multiplayer model called the client server model. And to understand a little bit more about the client server model, let me turn your attention to a drawing that was created by the Roblox Developer Hub. And I think this is a really great drawing. So let's go to that real quick. All right, so there's two very important aspects to know about for the server client model. And the first one we'll be discussing about is the server. The best way I can describe the server is it's basically a reserved section of any Roblox game that oversees the whole game itself. So if I just drag this along really quick, you can see that the server can be represented as the game itself, where you can see that there's 3 players that are inside of the game, and the camera is directed away from any specific player. So it's kind of like an overseer. It kind of oversees the whole game, and it controls everything that happens with the game. So that's essentially the server. But now to describe the client side, the client is, in the easiest way I can describe, the player itself, each individual player. So we have one player that's over here, then we have another player, and then we have our third player that's over here. So we have 3 different players that all act as clients that are connected to the server, which oversees everything. The server is what controls synchronization among all 3 of the players that are inside.
Okay. Do I need to make like a knot? I think I need to make like a knot, right? Because I don't know. I don't know where do I write the note? In words? Yeah, probably. Probably I should. Starting from advanced, I will need to make a note because I'm not an advanced Roblox game developer yet. Okay, I'm still a newbie. I just finished the newbie scripting tutorial. Now I'm going to upgrade myself to become an advanced Roblox game developer. So that's what I'm going to do. I need to write notes. I don't have Word in this PC. I don't know where do I write, but I can write on Google Docs, right? Let me open that for a moment. Yeah, Google Docs. Roblox game development notes. Okay. Local script server vs client. Make this into a heading. By the way, you are not seeing anything because I'm currently on the notes. I don't know if I probably should start like displaying all my screen instead of just like displaying this Roblox studio, because I'm afraid that when I display my screen and then you look at this browser video and then I'll get like copyrighted or something. I don't know. I don't know about that yet, okay? So I don't know if I should do it or not. But maybe I'll try to do it tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow I'll show you guys everything. Or maybe like tomorrow I will live stream, because live streaming is like a good thing to talk with your audience. But I don't have any audience yet. But it's fine because I think like talking with audience can make me talk better and I have someone to converse with. But when I think about it, like when you're streaming and you're learning at the same time, you need to focus up, but you also need to see your audience, right? It's really hard to do that both at the same time. But we all need to have some first-hand experience on something, right? And that something, that streaming thing is my first time. So maybe I'll try it tomorrow, okay? And I'm also afraid that I will like spill something, like I didn't blur something or what. But in Roblox Studio, I don't think there is anything really important yet. So I'm comfortable with sharing it. You guys already see that I draw every day and I think it already like shares my location. But at this point, no one really cares, right? But yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know much about this world yet. And yeah, I'm afraid to do things, but I actually need to step up my game. This is one way of doing it. So yeah, I'm writing a note right now. So you guys cannot really see anything. I know it's boring, but please bear with me, okay? Hmm, sleep. Terus kayak, how do I make a heading? Format paragraph style. Apply to title. Paragraph style. Okay.
Side of the game. So you can see here, one of the clients is one of the players. The camera is directed
Server. Yeah.
towards them, and they're seeing everything that's happening in the game.
Server is seeing every player POV, right? So server means like it sees everyone inside. And client is like from each of us, like ourselves. Okay.
Game from their perspective, and that's going the same way for these other two players. So there's three important things to know about with the server client model. And the first thing is replication. Whenever something happens in the server, it will be replicated to be shown in every single player that are in the server. If a player decides to move their character, then it will show to other players that this character has also moved. And replication is playing a factor in making sure that all the players are seeing exactly the same thing that's happening on.
Hmm. So when something happens in the server side, everyone see the same thing. Simple.
on the server. Another important thing is transmitting data between the server and also the client. So usually if we want to change something through script, where it will be replicated only to one specific person and not be shown to other people, then we would use features like local scripts. And I'm going to be showing you how those work in a little bit. So there can be different ways of transmitting data. There can be from one client to the server. There can be from the server to one of the clients, or there can be the server sending data to all the clients in the like local scripts. And I'm going to be showing you how those work in a little bit. So there can be different ways of transmitting data. There can be from one client to the server.
Transmitting data. Let's call like server and client. It's a really hard thing to say. Like client. Let's make client is us Roblox player. Client is Roblox player. And servers is like the god. The god. Can I say that? I don't know. Server is like the overseer, like the one who see us all. Server is like okay, let's make it like this. Server is like the parent, right? And then client is like the child. No. I cannot use that term because that term is used at somewhere else. Let's make it so server is like our country. I don't know, man. I'll write it as a otherworldly being, like a really strong being that control us all, right? And then client will be like the people. Okay, so server is Roblox and client is Roblox player. Okay, so transmitting data, you can transfer data from the Roblox itself to the player, right? Right, to this one player. You can also transfer data from the player to the server. And we can also transfer this data from the Roblox, like, oh, he is a bad guy. I don't want to transfer any data to him. So what you do is you can transfer it only to one Roblox player. So from server to only one client. Okay.
There can be from the server to one of the clients, or there can be the server sending data to all the clients in the server. So now that I'm done explaining how this works, let me show you some in-game examples of how this would actually turn out. All right, so I'm in a game in Pet Simulator X, and I'm being joined by my alt account that I just created. So there's one thing to note here that's quite odd between the perspective of my account and my alternative account. So on my alternative account, you can see that I haven't unlocked the next area in Pet Simulator X because I need to get 10,000 coins in order to buy the gate to get to the next area. But on my main account, I have lots of progress in the game already, and I already bought the gate to go to the next area. So from my perspective, I can see that the gate is not there, but then on my alternative account that's new, they cannot access the next area until they get 10,000 coins. Another example of local-sided features is user interface. So for instance, these buttons on the left side, you have hoverboard, teleport, auto settings. If I click on one of these, it'll show a pop-up of a little panel that shows all the places I can teleport to. Now, if I go to my alt account, on their side of the screen, they can't see the pop-up for the teleport. It's unique to them only if they click the button. So my alt account can click the button to show the teleport, but then on my main, I can X out of this and open up the pets panel, and on my alternative account, it's still going to be on the teleport page. So that's another big example of client-sided gameplay. All right, so now we know having a good understanding of the client-server model is really powerful, and it's something we're really gonna have to take into account for anything we do when we're trying to develop something, whether we want to show something specific to a specific player, or if we want to show something to all players, it can be replicated throughout the entire game. And so that's always just something that you should keep in the back of your mind. But now, what I want to do is show you how to access these different modes when you're creating on Roblox. So if we hit test up here and then hit play, then our character should be joining into the game like normal as a client. So here's our character here. And in order to flip between what you see on the client versus what you see on the server, we're going to go up here inside of the test ribbon as usual. There's going to be a monitor here saying current client. So this is the current perspective that we're seeing in the Roblox Studio window, which is our player right here. If we click on it, we can actually see that the perspective has changed to the server now. So our camera is now on the default location for the server when the game starts up. And as we can see, we can freely move around in the server, much like how we make games in Roblox Studio using the Studio 3 world looking map. So if I click it again, then it should go back to the perspective of the player, and we should be able to move around freely like so. So that's how you flip between the client and server perspective when you're creating a game on Roblox, and to give you a little bit more of an understanding of what the perspective looks like between the two. So let's hit stop. And now what we're going to do.
Okay, this is me. How do I change into the client side? I mean to the server side. Oh, I can toggle client and server view. Okay, it's on the test. So this is what I see. Oh, now I understand. I understand. So I might see like, oh, this player is like doing something with the UI. The UI and the server will be like max out or something. And on the player it will not be max out, right? In the player it will be different. Yeah, that's what I'm doing yesterday. Like I have a lot of question about this because I don't understand what the client and the server means yet. But right now I think I understand. It's pretty simple, but it could be mind-boggling sometimes when you don't know like the fundamentals. But right now I think I understand.
Do is create our first local script. On Roblox, we create scripts to be able to give it instructions and make it do what we want to do in Roblox. But there's going to be a lot of times where we want the things to happen only within a specific player and not have it be replicated onto the server. And this is where local scripts come in. So on the right side, if you have your Explorer window pulled up, I assume you have. If you don't have it pulled up, then you go to Roblox. But there's going to be a lot of times where we want the things to happen only within a specific player and not have it be replicated onto the server. And this is where local scripts come in. So on the right side, if you have your Explorer window pulled up, I assume you have. If you don't have it pulled up, then you go to the View tab up here, and then the Explorer times where we want the things to happen only within a specific. So let's hit stop. And now what we're going to do is create our first local script. On Roblox, we create
Local scripts.
scripts to be able to give it instructions and make it do what we want to do in Roblox. But there's going to be a lot of times where we want the things to happen only within a specific player and not have it be replicated onto the server. And this is where local scripts come in. So on the right side, if you have your Explorer window pulled up, I assume you have. If you don't have it pulled up, then you go to the View tab up here, and then the Explorer and Properties tab should both be here. So let me just open both of these back up. And make sure you also have your output down here so we can see the results that we're about to print out. So I'm just going to right-click our outputs and then clear it. So then let's create our local script. On our Explorer, let's scroll down a little bit. And on our starter GUI, we're going to hit the plus sign, and then we're going to search for a local script. And this is what it should look like. So let's click that. And then we see that it brings up the script editor. And this pretty much looks exactly the same as you would see when you insert a normal script. But this time, this acts as a local script. So we're not going to change it.
Oh, so that's why from the local yesterday I learned that I can only access local player. I forgot what that is, but some things that do I can only access the local. Like I want to see what player I am, and then I can only access it when I'm in local. So it's on the starter player, right? Or in the starter GUI. Okay. I understand. I understand. But when I try to make what I usually do is like the usual script is the server script, which I cannot see or I cannot get one specific player, which is me myself. Oh, I understand. I understand.
Anything here. We're going to leave this as print hello world. We're going to go back to our game. We're going to hit test and then hit play. So then what should happen is that we should see in the output hello world, just like how we normally would in a regular script. But here's the interesting thing. If we hit current client and switch over to the server, we can see that hello world is still here. But if you see this color-coded pattern here, you can see that there's actually a color here that's blue, and then down here is a color that's green. So whenever you see an output down here where the color is highlighted to be blue, that means that this little line of code ran on the client and not the server. So green means that it ran on the server, but in this case, our local script ran on the client. As soon as one player joined the game, that's when it decided to print out onto the output. Let's now make something that will only run on the client side and not have to be shown on the server. So we're going to create a part where when a player steps on it, it will print out a bunch of stuff in the output, but only on the client. So with our script that we created, let's actually disable this. We're not going to be using this for the rest of the tutorial. And let's insert a part. So let's go to model up here, and then let's hit part to insert a new part into the workspace. So let's just drag this along here. Let's change the scale of it a little bit, and let's change the color of the part down here inside of properties, and let's change the brick color to yellow, for instance. And now what we'll do is we'll go down here to Star Player in the Explorer. So open this up a little bit, and you'll see a section called Starter Character Scripts. So let's hit the plus sign here, and let's create a new local script.
That's great.
And then let's delete this code that's been given to us by default. So first what we'll do is make reference to the part. We'll say local part equals game.workspace dot part. So that will make reference to the part that we just created. And now we'll add a touched event to that part. So we'll say part.touched connect open parentheses function open parentheses close parentheses. Let's also delete this last line here. Enter. And then we will say print, and then in quotations we'll say like some random mumble jumble here. Okay, so now let's go back to the game. We'll hit test and we'll hit play. Okay, so it looks like
Or the best split.
I got an error here saying that part is not a valid member of workspace. What ended up happening was that the part didn't load in fast enough to catch that there was a part in the server. So we're going to have to wrap this around in a wait for child. So let's delete part here. And after workspace, we'll say wait for child and make sure you have the case sensitivity correctly. Then we'll say open close parentheses. And inside of here, in quote,
Wait for child is always good, no? Most of the time, I don't know.
we will say part. So now this is going to force the script to wait until part is loaded into the game so that we can actually run whatever's down here. So let's touch this. And as you can see on the client, the part is printing out all this mumble jumble random nonsense. This stuff isn't being printed out on the server. Now, it may not be as clear to you because the only thing we can see here is the color difference. Let's do something more visual so we can actually understand it more. So let's hit stop, go back to our local script, and instead what we'll do is we'll change the color of the part when we step on it. So let's delete this print statement here, and let's try to write a line that changes the color of the part. So we'll say part.brick color equals
It's red, right? After I know that it's red, I should change to the client view. Oh, I understand.
brick color.new, and then in parentheses right here, we will put in some quotes and say really red. So now let's play, then it should change the color to red. So as you can see, the color has now changed to red. But if we change our client to the server, we can still see that the color is yellow because we created a local script that can only show what happens with this execution when this specific player touches this part. It will only show it happening on their screen and not be replicated to every other player that plays the game. Like if you just imagine that there's going to be another player here, another player here, and then there's another player here, they're going to see that the part is still yellow even though you stepped on it and the color is now red, but only you see the part being red, not anybody else. So that's pretty much that. So that's pretty much the basics of local scripts and the server client model. I will be going more into detail about local scripts when we tackle tools that require the starter pack and also GUIs when I start my UI tutorial series and things like that. But this episode served as an introduction to local scripts and the server and client-sided model. So I think I've done enough to show that for this episode. All right, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Hey, thanks for stopping by. In this episode of my Roblox Advanced Scripting tutorial series, I'm gonna be discussing about delete instances, what they are, how they are used, and why you should use them. Delete instances is a term that I kind of made up because it reflects on ways that Roblox has provided us tools to handle unnecessary or unneeded objects or instances that we just have lying around inside of our Roblox games that we create. And in this guide, I'm going to show you different ways of how Roblox has provided us these tools to help us with those situations. But in order to understand what I'm talking about, let me show you an example. All right, let's think about this for a minute. So I just quickly created something that I think will be a great example for what I'm about to show you in this episode. So right in front of me, I have a coin spawning pad that randomly spawns coins onto this pad, and then after a certain period of time, which is about 5 seconds, they end up disappearing. The reason I have it do this is because my initial intention was that when a player steps on one of these coins, then they will add a point to their bleeder stat, but I've not created that yet. And so what's really important to note here is that these coins, when they're not being picked up, they despawn on their own after 5 seconds. It doesn't have to rely on me to pick them up before they actually despawn, because if I just come over here and pick up one of these coins, they disappear like intended. We don't have to deal with them anymore. Once they're collected, we just wait for the next one to spawn in. And so Roblox has provided us 3 methods to deal with deleting instances. And I'm going to be showing you how to do all 3 of them in this episode. All right, like I mentioned with my example, we don't want to keep these parts lying around inside of the game that we don't need anymore, otherwise it'll slow down Roblox. And we have to have a healthy amount of garbage collection when it comes to handling what parts we don't need and what parts we should keep in the world. So there's something I want you to understand. In our Explorer, we have of all of these instances and parts. They all have a parent that is basically like the folder that the object or part or whatever it is contained inside. So if we look at our base plate, we should keep in the world. So there's something I want you to understand. In our Explorer, we have all of these instances and parts. They all have a parent that is basically like the folder that the object or part or whatever it is contained inside. So if we look at our base plate's parent, our parent property here is workspace, which is basically the folder of baseplate. Baseplate is a child, also known as like a file inside of a folder, inside of workspace. That also applies to everything else that's here inside the workspace. You have the camera, terrain, spawn location, and let's say I were to insert a new part. So if I go to model up here and then click on parts, I inserted a new part into the workspace. But if I go over here to the right and click on parts in the Explorer, we can see that the parent is also inside of the workspace. And so that's something I want you to keep aware of when I'm going to be discussing about remove and how this affects parts inside of the game. So now that we have this part, how do we want to remove it through script? Well, the first thing we're going to do is obviously create a script. And on the right side, let's create a script that'll be parented to part. So we'll click the plus sign that's in part, and then we will say script. So now, as we can see here with the script, the parent property of the script is the part itself. So we want to be able to locate that part. And we're going to do this by first deleting this, and then we'll make reference to that part by saying local part equals script.parent. So we made reference to the part that's basically located on the script's parent. And I'll simply show you the first method. But before we do that, let's actually create a wait at the very beginning of the script so that we can see the change happening when we delete it. So we're going to say task.wait, and then inside of these parentheses, we're going to put a number indicating the number of seconds we're going to wait until we execute this script. So we'll say 6. And then down here, let's say part, remove. And then we will wrap these around in open and close parentheses. So let's go into the game. Let's hit test and hit play so that we can actually see the change that happens. And so let me open the Explorer really quick so we can really see the change. So after about 6 seconds, as you can see, the part disappeared not only in the workspace, but also in the Explorer. So that pretty much did what we intended it to do. So what's the issue here? There's a lot of intricate stuff that goes on in the back of Roblox's servers and game management, stuff like that really quick so we can really see the change. So after about 6 seconds, as you can see, the part disappeared not only in the workspace, but also in the Explorer. So that pretty much did what we intended it to do. So what's the issue here? There's a lot of intricate stuff that goes on in the back of Roblox's servers and game management, stuff like that it's kind of a bit complicated. But effectively what this did was that it took the part's parent over here. If I go into the Explorer, click on parts, and then see its parent, this effectively set the parent of the part to nil. And as you know, nil is a none value. It's a value that does not exist. So now that we know that remove basically sets the parent of the part to null, it's sort of just floating around in the game's content. But now the game doesn't know what to do with it because there was no parent set to it. So it didn't fully get rid of it. So Roblox has provided a better alternative called destroy. So if we go into our script and replace
Sorry guys, I'm not talking much because I'm pretty sleepy right now. I really want to sleep, but I'll keep going. I'm really sleepy. It's fine. So I'm not gonna talk much, okay? You guys cannot really see what I'm typing or what I'm doing, except if I do it inside Roblox Studio. But it's fine.
remove with destroy.
So there is this part, right? Okay, let's make it so that I have a part here, right? With electric blue. I'll make a script inside. This is from the server side. Remember, this is the server script, not the client. And then I'll make it so that we wait We wait for like 5 seconds. It's fine. And then we look at the part, which is local part equals to script dot parent, because the script of parent the part. Wait, I say that I'm not talking much, but I'm talking. It's fine. It's fine. Um, this is to enhance my understanding and to make me less sleepy. But the important part is like now we look at this part, we want to remove it. So let's say like part dot remove, right? Or remove like this. Wait, do I? Oh, we use this. Okay, part dot remove. Okay. Now we can see that. Okay, there is this part, and after 5 seconds, it will be gone. Right? Now it's gone. Now you cannot see the part anymore. Um, but from what he tells me, he said it's lying around because the parent is now nil, because it's still somewhere there, but I just cannot see it. So let's see, like this is workspace, and this is the part. Let's see, the part is gone, but it's not actually gone. But if we destroy, it's gone. I cannot really prove what's happening. But if I destroy it, I think it will just be like gone. Ah, I see. So from what I know is, so by that logic, just by that logic alone, if I remove the part like this, right, and then I can say that part dot parent equals to workspace game dot workspace, and then it should like just spawn again, right, at the position, right, everything, right. Right, let me see that. Wait. I need to remove and then I need to make a wait again, right? Let's wait for like probably like 2 seconds. Okay. And then we make it so part dot destroy. We don't need to make destroy yet. Let's try this first, okay? So you can see that it's still there. Then after 5 seconds, it will be gone. And after 2 seconds, it will appear again. Oh, it will appear again as something, as the original thing from the local script. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Like, so it will spawn again after it is removed. It will spawn again with the electric blue stuff. Oh, I see. But if you destroy it, then that part will be destroyed forever. And even if I try to make this again, it will like throw out an error, right? Should do it that way. Okay, it is destroyed. Oh, there is an error because there is nothing. Yeah, that's cool. Now I understand fully what remove and destroy
Instead, we can
is.
actually see that it does multiple things. It not only sets the parent property to nil, like remove does, but it also locks the parent of the instance, and it disconnects all connections and calls destroy on all children. So it basically does what remove does, but as an added layer of security, it does all these other things in order to provide as much performance as the game can give you when you get rid of a part. So all in all, this is just a much better method to use over remove. So I mentioned in my example in the beginning of this tutorial that I basically had coins that came into the game, and then after a certain period of time, I made them disappear. That actually didn't have to do with putting in a wait statement before destroying it. There's actually a much better way of dealing with that sort of stuff. To know after a certain amount of time to just delete the instance whenever I needed to without using a wait statement. And I'll show you two ways of doing this and why I recommend this third method rather than using a wait statement. So this third method is called debris, and this is basically a way of dealing.
Wait,
I
what?
made them disappear. That was actually mentioned in my example in the beginning of this tutorial that I basically had coins that came into the game, and then after a certain period of time, I made them disappear. That actually didn't have to do with putting in a wait statement before destroying it. There's actually a much better way of dealing with that sort of stuff. To know after a certain amount of time to just delete the instance whenever I needed to without using a wait statement. And I'll show you two ways of doing this and why I recommend this third method rather than using a wait statement. So this third method is called debris, and this is basically a model that Roblox has provided where it handles garbage collection when you want to delete a part within a specific amount of time, rather than having to delete the part through one single command. So if we go back up here to our script, we can see that we have our wait statement here in the very first line before actually.
Oh, wait, not wake. So I'm reading the caption, right? I have subtitle on and it say wait, not wait. I forget about that wait. Okay.
So I mentioned in my example in the beginning of this tutorial that I basically had coins that came into the game, and then after a certain period of time, I made them disappear. That actually didn't have to do with putting in a wait statement before destroying it. There's actually a much better way of dealing with that sort of stuff. To know after a certain amount of time to just delete the instance whenever I needed to without using a wait statement. And I'll show you two ways of doing this and why I recommend this third method rather than using a wait statement. So this third method is called debris, and this is basically a model that Roblox has provided where it handles garbage collection when you want to delete a part within a specific amount of time, rather than having to delete the part through one single command. So if we go back up here to our script, we can see that we have our wait statement here in the very first line before actually destroying the part. I actually would not advise doing this by using a wait statement and then destroying the part. I will explain to you why in just a little bit. So let's delete this first line up here with the wait statement, and let's also just comment out this part really quick by putting in the 2 dashes in front of the command. So let's hit enter down here, and let's type in game.debris, because this is the framework that we're going to be using in order to handle garbage collection. And we're going to say colon add item. In the first argument, we're going to throw in the part, and then we're going to separate using a comma for a second argument, and we're going to
Dang, guys, I'm really sleepy. There is add item. Oh, lifetime. There is an item which is as instance. Instance, like you know, instance is everything in the workspace. Everything in the explorer is an instance. Then the instance that we want to add is the part, and then the lifetime is like how many seconds before it should be destroyed. So this is like to destroy things. So if I say like 3 seconds, then after 3 seconds, the part will be gone. Boom. That's really cool. I'm so I'm so
to
sleepy.
give a number. So we used the number 6 for the time we want to use for when the part was actually going to be destroyed. So this is how we're going to do it. Instead of using task.wait 6 seconds and then destroying the part, we're simply doing this in one line by saying game.debris, and then this is the method we're using, add item. We want to add this part to the debris garbage collection after 6 seconds that this line has been executed. So if we go back into the game and then hit play, we should pretty much see the same exact results, just using a different framework. So in about 6 seconds, the part should be removed. If we look at Explorer, then the part is definitely not there in the Explorer anymore. So that effectively did the exact same thing as destroy, but we gave it a certain time before it actually deleted itself. Now it's time to answer the question, why should we use debris over using a wait statement and then destroying the part? Okay, so going back to my coins example, here's the script right here. The only thing you really need to know about is the delete instance part, where I basically have a wait statement here that waits 5 seconds and then it destroys the part. This is not a good idea. Let's see what happens when we actually do decide to have a wait statement and then destroy it. When you saw my original example, every single second there was a new coin that was spawning in, and then it was going to delete itself after 5 seconds. It wasn't dependent on any other coin that was inside of the spawn location before it deleted itself. But now it seems like when I added a wait statement, it seems to wait for the coin to disappear first before spawning in another one. This is clearly not what we want, and the reason I can explain why this is happening is because effectively when we spawn in a coin using calling this function here in our while true do statement, it creates a new coin. It sets that new coin's parent to workspace, and then it's going to wait 5 seconds before destroying this new coin. But wait, it sets that new coin's parent to workspace. Calling this function here in our while true do statement, it creates a new coin. It sets that new coin's parent to workspace, and then it's going to wait 5 seconds before destroying this new coin. But what you don't realize is happening is that this function is being called, and we've added in a wait statement here where we're literally telling the script to stop what it's doing for 5 seconds and then destroy the new coin before ending the function and then jumping back down to here to start the script all over again. The reason this is ineffective is because we're actually telling the script to wait 6 seconds instead of 1 before spawning another coin. So 5 seconds here for it to be destroyed, and then another second here in order to spawn the coin again. When in actuality, we want the loop to go every second rather than every 6 seconds. And so when we use debris, it's actually not dependent on the previous coin before it spawns in the next one. So if I go back to the script and quickly comment these 2 points out and then uncomment the new one, game.debris add item new coin 5 seconds, we will see that it's not dependent on the previous coin before spawning in the next one. So instead of waiting 6 seconds, so waiting 5 seconds for the first one to despawn and then wait another second to spawn in the next one, it just simply waits 1 second before spawning in the next one, and then independently each coin will despawn after 5 seconds. That's why I think using add item for game.debris is a better method of when you want to get rid of the first one to despawn and then wait another second to spawn in the next one. It just simply waits 1 second before spawning in the next one, and then independently each coin will despawn after 5 seconds. That's why I think using add item for game.debris is a better method of when you want to get rid of an item after a specific number of time. So in summary, remove basically just sets the parent of whatever instance you're trying to get rid of to nil. And I'm just going to say, do not use remove. It is not a very effective strategy to get rid of stuff, but it's still great to understand how stuff works. Destroy gets rid of whatever instance you're trying to get rid of in the most optimal way possible, and you should only use this if you want to immediately get rid of an object without having to wait for it. And then debris should be used when you want to get rid of an instance after a set amount of time that you give it.
Isn't that like too much editing, bro? No? I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. I mean, yeah, I mean, I can always like see what you're doing, right? And if I say that it doesn't feel good, then it doesn't feel good because from playing games, right? It doesn't mean like you should communicate or like say that I'm bad all the time. Like people actually want to play, want to see the gameplay, right? Not how you roast me all the about me looking bad, me being bad, and this guy being stupid.
It's important to know when to use debris, and you should only use this if you
So destroy is gone, destroy. Okay.
want to immediately get rid of an object without having to wait for it. And then debris should be used when you want to get rid of an instance after a set amount of time that you give it. It's important to know when to use debris and when to use destroy. I hope you found this episode to be helpful. Be sure to check out my other videos on my advanced scripting tutorial series, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Hey, thanks for stopping by. In this episode,
Okay, I already know how to remove things. I already take a note. It's only remove to make the parent nil, destroy to make it done, and debris is to destroy after a set amount of time. Yeah, destroy is like we want it gone forever, gone, boom, and then it will not appear again, right? But if you want to make appear again, you debris. Cool.
of my Roblox advanced scripting tutorial series, I'm going to be talking about tools. Now, I think you pretty much know what tools are. Almost every single Roblox game you can think of has tools in some sort of way. They're basically items for players to be able to equip from their backpack or their inventory and use them. So things like weapons or tools or any other sorts. Something that's equipable that players can use to further progress through the game that they're playing. And that's what we're about to be creating in this episode. But before we do, there's going to be some things we need to understand first. All right, let's think about this for a minute. So
Guys, I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy, okay? I will need to sleep for a while. Just a while, okay? Just a while. After that, I'll continue, okay? I'll sleep for 26 minutes because that's a power nap. So, I guess I'll see you guys in 26 minutes, okay? If I don't wake up, you can cuss me out, but I'll wake up. Don't worry. It's fine. See you guys. Hello, guys. I'm back. It's been like 1 hour, 30 minutes since that time. I sleep for 26 minutes, but yeah, it's fine. I'll continue. One more feed.
I just hit playtest here in Roblox Studio, and there's going to be a few things I want you to know about before we start creating tools. So on the right side, if we open up Explore, we can see everything that's contained inside the Explorer. But one thing in particular
Oh, where am I at? Oh, tools. I see. Okay. I already know what server script is and local script is. It's pretty simple. Now we go to
is
tools.
our own character, because obviously when the player joins the game, there's going to be a clone
Oh, tools is the thing that is below the thing is, right? Like when you're at the game, it's below here. The thing that you can pick. It's like your backpack and things, yeah.
of the player's character from the website. And one thing in particular is our own character, because obviously when the player joins the game, there's going to be a clone of the player's character from the website and be put into the workspace, because that's how we can actually see ourselves inside of the game. If we open this up, we can actually see that there's a whole bunch of stuff that make up the workspace, because our own character, because obviously when the player joins the game, there's going to be a clone of the player's character from the website and be put into the workspace, because that's how we can actually see ourselves inside of the game. If we open this up, we can actually see that there's a whole bunch of stuff that make up our character. We have shirts, pants, we have a bunch of accessories. I can actually take some of these accessories off, like my glasses, for instance. I just deleted that, and now you can see my glasses are gone. So everything here basically makes up my character inside the workspace. We also have certain body parts, we have scripts, and a bunch of other stuff. That makes up our player character inside the game. But not only that, there's another thing. If we scroll down a little bit, we can actually see that there's a folder called players. If we open up players, we can actually see that there is a player instance that basically has the same name as my character up here, Brawl Battle. This is the character inside of the workspace. But this is the player instance. And if we open this up, we can see that there's 4 things here. There's backpack, starter gear, player GUI, and player scripts. We're mostly going to be focused on these 2 here for this episode, backpack and starter gear. So in essence, there's 2 things that happens when a player joins the game. One is that their character gets copied and put into the workspace whenever our player joins the game. The second thing is that a player instance is created and put inside of the player's folder inside the game with a bunch of other stuff. So this is something I want you to be aware of when we start creating tools. All right, now that we understand that, let's create.
Oh, okay. So the thing inside the workspace, everything inside this workspace is probably like the thing inside here, right? Inside the game. But this is the object. This is the object instance itself. So it is like inside the player, but this is inside this place. Oh, now I understand the difference, because that is what bugging me like since yesterday.
create a tool. But you might ask, where do we create this tool? Do we create it in Workspace? Do we create it in Players? No, we actually create it inside of another folder inside of the game called Starter Pack. And essentially what Starter Pack is that this is the default backpack ideally filled with tools where when the player joins the game, and it doesn't matter which player it is because all players will share the same starter pack. And so any tools that are put inside of the starter pack will be put inside of the player's backpack in the game no matter what, whether they join the game for the first time or whether they reset their character. These tools that are in the starter pack will be copied over to the player's backpack, and this is how it's going to be for the entirety of the game. So we're going to create a tool by clicking on the plus sign next to starter pack, and you can see
The thing in the starter pack. Starter pack. Oh, that one. Okay. So the thing in the starter pack is like it's always there. It's always there. It's the first thing that is there.
that there is a tool right here. So let's click that. And now we've
Oh, there is a tool instance. Oh, I see.
created our first tool instance placed inside of the starter pack. So if we look at our tool and we like hit test and hit play, now that we're in game, we can see that down here, the tool is shown. If we click
Ooh, I see a tool. That's cool.
on it, nothing exactly happens because we didn't make the tool do anything yet. It's just an empty tool instance. But if we go on the right side with our player and look into our backpack, we can actually see that our tool is displayed inside of here as expected because
Oh, now there is a starter pack. But this here, this is ourself, right? This is our body color. This is Punisher. This is Hulk. This is me. This is humanoid. This is me in this is me here, right? This red blood cell is this. Okay, I understand that. That is very clear. But this player, that is not me. That is what makes me inside the brain. You see that thing inside that you cannot see? It's this one. So this one, I have backpack. And the backpack I have tool. Wow. That's really cool. Grape, origin, pivot. Okay, I see.
everything that's inside of the starter pack from Roblox Studio, like this tool, it gets copied over to every single player's backpack, and that's basically where the tool lies. But now let's look at some properties for the tools. The first thing we'll look at is tooltip, and this is essentially a text that displays on top of the tool whenever you hover over the item, giving you like a little bit of information about it. I will show you what I mean. But for right now, let's just select this and let's put in something. Let's give it a description by saying this is a tool. So now that we have that in there, I'll show you what it looks like inside the game after a little bit. But let's look into another property called texture ID.
Tooltip. Pickaxe.
So if you notice when we were playing the game, our tool was displayed at the bottom of the screen down here, but all it showed was the text tool, which was the name of the tool. But what if we want to show an image instead of the name of the tool? This is where texture ID comes in. Now you might ask, how do you actually get a texture ID and where do we get images from? So that is going to be through the toolbox, which can be accessed from up here when you click view, and then there should be a toolbox right
Oh, toolbox.
over here. If we click that, we can actually see that we have a huge marketplace catalog filled with user-generated content that's been uploaded to the Roblox website, in which you can actually take some of these and put it inside of your game. Now, I would generally advise not using the toolbox because a lot of these things have backdoor scripts that can hack your game or modify the game to something that you don't want. All kinds of security issues, which is why I would generally advise not to use the toolbox. But for the sake of this tutorial, we are going to use it. Okay, now in order to get our texture ID, we need an ID from an image. And to get an image, we click on this drop down here and we click on images. So this gives us a whole bunch of images. We need an ID from an image. And to get an image, we click on this drop down here and we click on
Images. Fonts. Oh, this is my models, which probably one day I can make. I can use Blender to make my model, right? Okay, I see.
images. So this gives us a whole bunch of images to work with that's been uploaded to by the
What is decals?
Roblox community. So if we just take one of these, let's take this super happy face, for instance. We're going to right click it, and then we're going to click on copy asset ID. And then on the right side, on our texture ID, let's select this, let's right click, and then we'll say paste, and then we'll hit enter. So essentially we got the ID of the image, and we've now put it onto here, the texture ID. So we should be able to see it in our game. If we go to test and we go to play, we should see these two changes with the tooltip and also the texture ID. So the first thing you notice if we join in is that our tool now doesn't display the name of the tool anymore, but
Oh, okay, that's a tooltip. I see. Now I have a pickaxe. Boom, pickaxe.
instead our image, because we gave the texture ID an ID of the image. If we hover over it, we can actually see that it displays a text on top of it saying this is a tool. This was our tooltip that we provided for the tool. So those are two pretty cool things. If we equip and unequip it, nothing still happens because we didn't actually make it do anything yet. Now let's create a handle so that we can actually show that the player is holding something whenever they equip the tool. So if we go to our model tab, hit part so that we create a new part so that we can actually show that the player is holding something whenever they equip the tool. So if we go to our model tab, hit part so that we create a new part inside of the workspace, there's going to be two very important things we need to do. The first thing is if we click on the part and then go down here into the properties, make sure that anchored is set to false so that it's turned off. The reason for this is because we don't want the part to be stuck in place whenever the game is running. We want it to be affected by gravity. And then the second thing we have to do is rename this part to a very specific name. We're going to click on this and we're going to name it handle with a capital H. And now what we'll do is we'll take this part, we will drag it into our tool here inside of our start pack. And basically what we're doing is we're telling Roblox that this is now a part that we want to display on the player's hand whenever the
Oh, cannot copy. Handle.
tool is equipped. Let's equip our tool. So down here, let's click on it. We should see that we now have the part which we
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I understand it now.
called handle that was set as a child to the tool is now equipped for us. And so basically our hand is stuck out whenever a tool is equipped, and we see the part like very clearly. We unequip it and then the part is gone. If we equip it again, we can see it. If we unequip it, it's gone. Now let's actually see what happens in the Explorer whenever we equip and unequip the tool. So I'm going to open up the workspace and players. Let's open up our player and our backpack as well. And let's open up our character. Remember when I said that our character in the workspace makes up what we actually see in the workspace? We can see that when we don't have the tool equipped, it's inside of our player's backpack here. But if we equip it, we can actually see that the tool moved from our backpack into our own character. The tool is now part of our character. If we unequip it, we can actually see that the tool moved back into our backpack. So that's a really interesting thing to note about. Here's two more properties to know about.
Oh, okay. I understand. So there is this player, and I have a backpack, and I have a tool. This tool is inside my body. It's inside here, right? As you can see, it's inside right here. But when I equip it, boom, where the tool gone? It goes into the workspace inside my character, which is this one. Ooh, that's really cool.
If we scroll down a little bit, we can see that there's a scale property and a candy drops property. The scale property basically just sets the size of the tool itself, specifically the handle. If we just change this to, let's say, 1.5, then it increases the scale of the tool. We can change it to 2. We can even make it smaller than the default by saying 0.5. So that's like a little neat thing to know about. Another property is candy drops, and this is basically a check to see whether the player can actually get rid of this item from their backpack. And on PC or desktop or computer or whatever, the key to actually dropping an item is the backspace button. So if we have it equipped and we press backspace, we can actually see that the part is now located inside of the workspace and is not a child to my character anymore. But if I pick it back up, it goes back into my character. Now, if I quickly go to the tool and is not a child to my character anymore. But if I pick it back up, it goes back.
What? Wait. Ooh.
into my character. Now, if I quickly go to the tool and uncheck candy drops and make sure we're not selecting tool inside of the workspace, so like down here, if we try pressing backspace now, it does not work. And that's because we set candy drop to false. These are two additional properties that I'm just going to throw out there. Now let's actually script our tool. So on our tool, we're going to click on the plus sign, and then we're going to create a script. Now remember, it's important to note the difference between script and local scripts. I made a video talking about local scripts, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to use a script so that it'll be replicated to all players. I generally would not advise doing this unless there's clear communication between the server and the client, but we're not going to go over that in this episode. So replicated to all players. I generally would not advise doing this unless but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to use a script so that it'll be replicated to all players. I generally would not advise doing this unless there's clear communication between the server and the client, but we're not going to go over that in this episode. So we've just created a script inside of a tool. Let's delete this code here, and let's first make reference to the tool. So we're going to say local tool equals script dot parent. And so in this episode, I'm going to be going over 4 events that I think are going to be pretty useful for tools. The first one is going to be equipped. So we'll say tool.equipped, and we're going to say connect function. We're going to hit enter. And first thing we'll do is we'll make a print statement. We'll say print.
Oh, tool equip is like when the tool is equipped, what will happen, right? Fires when it connects. What the hell is connect event? Connect to the given event function and return Roblox script. Oh, okay.
This tool
Equip. Okay, easy, simple. Okay.
has been equipped. So we'll drop two lines down here. This tool has dot unequipped connect function. We're basically just going to do the exact same thing here. Print this tool has been unequipped. Now let's go to the game, hit test, hit play. You know the usual. So make sure you have your output down here so that we can actually see the change happening. When we equip the tools, connect, the output has printed this tool has been equipped. So make sure you have your output down here so that we can actually see the change happening. When we equip the tool, we can see that the output has printed this tool has been equipped. And if we unequip it, we can see that this tool has been unequipped. And so we can just continuously do this every time we equip and unequip the tool. So we basically did exactly what we wanted it to do. All right, but now there's two more events that we'll be going over, and that's going to be activated and unactivated. So activated is basically an event that triggers whenever the player clicks on the left mouse button of their mouse if they're playing on PC. But I believe in other devices it's tapping the screen if you're on mobile, and I think here clicks on the left mouse button of their mouse if they're playing and unactivated.
Oh, this one.
So
This one.
activated is basically an event that triggers whenever the player clicks on the left mouse button of their mouse if they're playing on PC. But I believe in other devices it's tapping the screen if you're on mobile, and I think it's right trigger on Xbox if I'm not mistaken. So basically, whenever you interact with the tool after equipping it, so we'll say tool.activated connect function, and then do the same thing here with the syntax. We will say
Something shoot out of my hand. The connect function, right? It still is
print
activated.
tool has been activated, and so
Can make something spawn out of my head. Ah. I will try to make it. I'll try to make it. I don't care. I don't care. I'll make it. I'll make it. Shoot.
And so we will also do the same thing down here when it becomes deactivated. So deactivating is basically when you let go of the activation button, whichever one it was, whether that was the left mouse button, right trigger, or tapping on the screen. So we'll say tool dot deactivated connect function, and then we will say it. So first thing we're gonna do is equip it. We will see that the tool's been equipped. Now let's try activating it. So I'm on PC, so the button to activate it is going to be the left mouse button. So if I hold my left mouse button, we can see that it printed out saying the tool's been activated. But if I let go of my mouse, then it will activate the deactivation. Tool's been deactivated. If I click, we can see that it very quickly activated and deactivated, because activating happens whenever you actually press down on the key, but then deactivating happens when you let go. There's actually two more properties here in the behavior category called manual activation only and requires handle. So requires handle is basically like, okay, we have a tool, but we don't need it to have a handle when we want to use this tool. So key, but then deactivating happens when you let go. There's actually two more properties here in the behavior category called manual
Wait. No activation.
activation only and requires handle. So
Wait. What is this? Oh, the handle is the item. Okay. The tool has manual activity only. Manual activation only. Control whether the tool can be activated without executing.
requires handle is basically like, okay, we have a tool, but we don't need it to have a handle when we want to use this tool. So if we right click our tool and then duplicate it and we open up this one, let's also rename this to tool 2 so that we don't get confused with it.
I think I understand. Right? Wait. No. What happened? This handle, this tool too, will have a handle, but then I will uncheck the tool like this can be dropped. Manual activation. So what will happen? What will happen surely is what will happen surely is this item will can be activated and deactivated even though I don't have the wait what? I only have one item. Oh wait. Oh, it should not be here. It should not be here. Right? Not be here. I'm sorry. How do I delete this? Wait, why the tool here? Why the tool here? Wait, what? Wait. I'm confused. So it is on the starter pack. We have this tool. And why do we have this tool here? Is it like supposed to spawn when is that the same thing? Wait, where what do I what do I miss? Why do I have the tool like
with it. Let's actually rookie. It has been deactivated. And if we show you, the first one is going to be equipped. So properties that I'm just going to throw out there. Now let's actually script our tool. So on our tool, we're going to click on the plus sign, and then we're going to create a script to be equipped.
Oh,
So I'm
it's
not
always on
mistaken.
the
Also
tool.
do the same thing down here
Why
when it
it
becomes
on my
deactivated. So deactivated is
workspace?
basically when you let go of the activation button, whichever one it was, whether that was a left mouse button, right trigger, or print. And do is tool has been deactivated. Activating happens when you right click our tool and then duplicate it.
Ah, I see, man. I don't know why it's here. Maybe I like pass it wrong. Like I passed it wrong. It should be like here. And control V. Oh, control shift V. Control shift V. Okay, let's make it into tool two. So now, so now, even without me equipping, oh wait. I haven't changed the thing yet, right? I haven't changed the thing yet. Like this. It's tool two. Manual activation only. So I manual activation only. So now, yeah, I don't understand.
And we open up this one. Let's also rename this to tool 2 so that we don't get confused with it. Let's actually delete this handle. So now we have a tool that doesn't have a handle, meaning when our player equips this tool, nothing will show as like a physical object when the player equips a tool, but we can still activate it and run the script without having an actual handle. So we can actually disable this. And if we go into the
Oh, that is for require handle first. Okay. It didn't require handle, right? So, oh, we remove the handle first. Right. Oh, okay.
game, we should still be able to activate it. So I believe it's going to be our second tool. As you can see, our player does not hold out his hand to equip something because we deleted the handle, but we can still see that the script is still working just fine without the handle. So that's like one useful thing to know about for that. And then the other property is manual activation only. So if we activate this, like if we said it's true, that means that whenever we equip the tool, we cannot activate it automatically when our player decides to do it by like left mouse clicking or right triggering or tapping on the screen. We can only have activation happen through script. So I'll show you an example of how this would actually work. So if we go to our tool 2 and then click on the script, let's delete this one so that's a little easier to read. Let's make it so
Mm, understand. So what that means is the card sandal manual activation only is on.
So that as soon as we equip the tool, let's activate the activated event here. So we're going to drop a line here from equipped, and we're going to say tool, and since this is a function, we're going to say colon activate. So this basically artificially simulates what would happen if the player clicks and activates the tool, because we don't want it to happen automatically. This is going to happen manually. So as soon as we equip the tool, it's going to automatically activate it without the player actually doing it, because now the player cannot activate it on their own. So if we equip our second tool, we can see that the tool's been equipped, and the activated event has also been triggered because as soon as we equipped our tool, it set off the activated event on its own. And if I try to activate the tool, it's not going to work. Instead, all it's going to do is trigger the deactivated one, because that property inside of our tool was specifically designed for activation, not deactivation. There's actually one final thing I forgot to mention, and that is starter gear. Essentially, starter gear is basically the starter pack, but if it was specific to an individual player. So, forgot to mention, and that is starter gear. Essentially, starter gear is basically the starter pack, but if it was specific to an individual player. So, some players could spawn in every time they reset their character with a certain set of tools that is only specific to that player.
Wait,
What
what?
I'm going to
Wait,
do is
what?
trigger the deactivated one, because essentially starter gear is basically
Okay, there is a starter pack and starter gear.
the starter pack specifically designed for activation, not deactivation. There's actually one final thing I forgot to mention, and that is starter gear. Essentially, starter gear is basically the starter pack, but if it was specific to an individual player. So, some players could spawn in. Essentially, that property inside of our tool was specifically designed for activation, not deactivation. There's actually one final thing I forgot to mention, and that is starter gear. Essentially, starter gear is basically the starter pack, but if it was specific to an individual player. So some players could spawn in every time they reset their character with a certain set of tools that is only specific to that player. Or maybe if someone is in a specific team, they will spawn into the game with specific tools that other teams or other players cannot start out with. And let me show you how this is done really quickly. So if I select my tool on the starter pack and I right click and duplicate it, let's call this tool 2, and I'm actually going to get rid of the texture ID so that we can see the difference between tool 1 and tool 2. I'm going to drag this into replicated storage. And now let's play the game. So now I'm in the game. As you can see, I've opened up my player, so that starter gear is over here. And if I open up replicated storage, my tool should be here as well. Here's something that's really important to know about, though. Inside of the test ribbon, I'm going to click on the current window that we're in. I'm going to click it so that we can go to the server instead. If I open up the players, my player with its starter gear, and I go to replicated storage with tool 2, I'm going to drag this into starter gear. So now, for the first time, I join into the game with my one and only.
Wait. That's too fast. That's too fast. That's too fast. Too much information. Too much information.
There's actually one final thing I forgot to mention, and that is starter gear. Essentially, starter gear is basically the starter pack, but if it was specific to an individual player.
Okay, I understand. Starter pack is for everyone, right? Starter pack is for everyone.
So some players could spawn in every time they reset their character with a certain set of tools that is only specific to that player. Or maybe if someone is in a specific team, they will spawn into the game with specific tools that other teams or other players cannot start out with. And let me show you how this is done really quickly. So if I select my tool on the starter pack and I right click and duplicate it, let's call this tool 2, and I'm actually going to get rid of the texture ID so that we can see the difference between tool 1 and tool 2. I'm going to drag this into replicated storage. And now
Okay, why he drag it there? I don't care, but sure. Okay, I don't care, but sure. Now we go in. We don't have this. Okay.
let's play the game. So now I'm in the game. As you can see, I've opened up my player, so that starter gear is over here. And if I open up replicated storage, my tool should be here as well. Here's something that's really important to know about, though. Inside of the test ribbon, I'm going to click on the
Oh, this is how to change to server side fast.
current window that we're in. I'm going to click it so that we can go to the server instead. If I open up the players, my player with starter gear, and I go to replicated storage with tool 2, I'm going to drag this into starter gear.
Oh, starter gear is inside the player. Okay.
So now, for the first time, I join into the game with my one and only tool right here that's in my backpack. But if I actually reset my character, then something really interesting will happen. So once I reset my character, I'm now going to have two tools down here as a starter rather than one, because tool 2 was very specifically put inside of my player's starter gear. So now whenever I reset my character, I'm not only going to start off with tool 1, but also tool 2. And if I go back into the server and quickly delete starter gear,
Oh. Mm.
I go back into my own client and I reset my character, then I should no longer be able to spawn in with my second tool alongside my first one. So that is another very interesting thing to know about. It's very useful if you want specific players to have specific tools or people in specific teams to have specific tools. And of course, if you want to do this through scripts, then all you have to do is just set the parent of the tool, not only to the backpack, but also to their starter gear. So the next time the player resets their character, they're going to have their new tool. Okay, now let's put it all together. And in this last section of the video, I'm actually going to make this a challenge that you can try if you want, or you can follow what I do. There's going to be a few requirements. The 5 requirements that I have for you are, first, play a sound when the tool is equipped. And if you don't know how to play a sound, then that's okay. This step doesn't really matter all too much. The next requirement is to create a boolean to check if the player is holding down activation.
Okay, a challenge. I'll take it. I think it's gonna be an easy challenge. Easy because I have Gemini. Gemini will help me do everything. So, I have a toolbox, right? I have a starter gear. I have everything. I need to delete the tool first. Okay? No. I won't delete it. I'll just put it. I'll just put it inside the starter pack. Zoom. No, not like that. Not like that. Starter pack. Control Shift V, yeah. Okay. Now, when I join the game, it should have 2 tools. Wait, what? Wait, wait. Oh. Oh, Shift. Okay. What is the challenge
If you
again?
don't know how to play a sound, then that's okay. This step doesn't really matter all too much. The next requirement
Play a sound when tool is equipped. How to play sound? What works best or a part? Person needs to hear from a specific location, okay? From sound specific to that player. Footstep breathing, okay? For global one-shot sounds like UI or a success chant that are loaded by the server but played by a client script, okay? Go to the Explorer window, select the object. Okay, I'll make the sound in the workspace then. Oh, no, in the tool. In the tool. I'll make it in the tool, okay? I'll make a sound in the tool itself. So this tool, sound, right? Oh, now the tool have sound. The properties on the sound. In the properties, find the sound ID object. Sound ID. Sound ID. Okay, I see no sound ID. Unique ID, okay. Oh, there you go, sound ID. It's on the asset. Okay. Roblox library. Roblox library. Sound. Audio. I want the sound to be boom. I just scare myself. I just scare myself like there because the sound is very okay. Oh, I can just insert that fine boom right there, right? I can also copy asset ID and then I put the ID there, right? And then when it's equipped, I first locate the sound, right? Local sound equals mm, cool. Wait for child. So sound. It should be sound.play, right? That's simple, no? Okay, you guys cannot hear the sound because you guys are hearing the sound from the Google, but I make a fine boom, boom. Whenever I could boom, boom. Okay, I see. Easy.
Requirement is to create a boolean to check if the player is holding down activation and change it
Create a boolean to check hold down activation.
appropriately. The third requirement is use tool scale to with an argument of whatever number's in there to upscale and downscale the tool when clicking. So this is a special function for tools that allows you to upscale and downscale a tool, and I want you to use that whenever a player clicks and lets go. Next, I want you to use a while loop to constantly change the handle's color until the player lets go. And then finally, the last requirement is I want you to create player stats with an int value called clicks that increments every time the player clicks with the tool. All right, so these are challenges.
What the hell? What the hell are these challenge? Man.
Requirements that I have for you are first, play a sound when the tool is equipped, and if you don't know how to play a sound,
Play a
then
sound
that's okay.
when
This
tool
doesn't really matter
equipped.
all too much. The
Done.
next requirement is to create a boolean to check if the player is holding down activation
Create boolean to check hold down activation. Hold down activation.
and change it appropriately. The third requirement is you doesn't really matter all too much. The next requirement is to create a boolean to check if the player is holding down activation and change it appropriately. The third requirement is
Easy. Local hold equals false. If it's equipped, if it's activated. Oh, is there like another like oh, activated is if I hold down, then hold equals true. Hold equals false. Okay. Boom. Done. Now I cannot even see the hold or false or true. I can print the hold, right? Dang. The sound is too big. The volume is too big. I'll make it small first. I'll get scared every time, you know. The sound. The volume should be 0.144. Okay, just like that. Okay, it should be fine now. Okay, now it's fine. True, false. Okay, that's done.
is use tool scale to with an argument of whatever number's in there
Use tool scale now for the size
to
change.
upscale and downscale the tool
Easy. Okay. Tool scale to wait. The scale to is like for the handle to change the size, right? So the tool itself have a scale. Oh, okay.
when clicking. So this is a special function for tools that allows you to upscale and downscale a tool, and I want you to use that whenever a player clicks and lets go. Next, I want
Okay, for size change. Okay, that's simple. That's simple. Okay. Tool dot scale to oh scale to number 2. Okay. When I click, it's big. When I don't click, it stays normal. So boom. Dang, easy, easy.
I want you to use a while loop to constantly change the handle's color until the player lets go. And
Use while loop to change the handle color. While true, we loop, okay? While true, do wait. Okay, task.wait. We wait for like 2 seconds so it doesn't break. And then before we wait, we change the tool, okay? Change the tool dot handle tool dot handle tool dot handle, right? Tool dot wait, you didn't go? You don't go? Okay. Tool dot handle equals no tool dot handle dot brick colors equals brick color dot random. Wait, block color dot new random. Oh no, no random here. Can I just make a random color here? So when I equip it, it will change the color. Or every 2 seconds it change. How about one? Dang, simple things. Okay, what again?
And then finally, the last requirement is I want you to create player stats with an int value called click.
Like the player stats with an int value called clicks. The
That
increments.
increments every time the player clicks with the tool.
Simple. Leader starts. Leader starts. Okay, okay. I need to think. I need to think. Oh, leader starts. Where do I put it? Forgot. I forgot where do I put leader starts. But I'll make a new script, okay? Make a new script. Have leader starts. Wait. Leader starts. Leader starts. Wait, wait. Let me remember, okay? How do I make leader starts? Is it inside of player? Oh, it should be inside of the player. But okay, it's on it's on the oh, it's on the players. So to get to the players, I forgot. I actually forgot. So first, so how to look at the players? I forgot how to make a leader start. Dang, 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 dang. I forgot. I forgot how to make a leader start. So this is my leader start, right? Doesn't have anything yet. So I need to put the leader start inside the player. How do I do that? How do I do that? When the player connects, right? I need to try to remember, okay? So to put the leader start here, here. So we make it into player connect, no? Player edit. Oh, after it's edit, we connect. Oh, I think I remember something. Function. Okay, when the player edit, this is the player, right? This is the player. Oh, I remember. I remember. Okay, game.player.player edit dot connect. See, I'm trying to remember. If I understand, I remember. Game Game the player. So this is my player. Wait, what is this player? Um, can I print the player first? I don't name. What? Wait, I forget. Okay. So first we make a leader stats. Oh, the player is rebel as a 3. It should be this, right? Oh no. The player is this probably, right? So the player is this local humanoid. So when it connects, we should add a local leader stats plus. Oh, okay. Instance dot new folder, right? Local dot leader stats instance dot view folder. Then leader stats dot parent equals to leader stats dot parent equals to player. Leader stats dot name equals to leader stats. So first, so the leader stats the name is leader stats, and then the parent is the player, right? Leader stats doesn't have a value, right? Local click equals to instance the new integer value. Now click click dot name is equals to click, right? And then click dot value equals to 0. So if I load this, if I'm correct, okay, I'm stupid. I need to make the parents click dot parents equals to leader stats. Dang. Okay. It's really simple, my guy. It's really simple. Okay, now we need to locate where the leader stats is. The leader stats is here, right? It has click, right? And we also have this backpack, right? And then this backpack, okay. We have this script. Where is this script located? Should be inside the tool. Wait, let me stop this first, okay? So now we don't have anything. We don't have any player. We don't have anything. But in the tool, like we have this script, right? To locate the player, when tool is equipped, connect function. Okay, when tool is activated, right? We wanna increment the click here. How do I increment the click here? First, we need to locate the click. How do I locate the click within this thing? This thing is in the starter pack, but when I go inside the game, it will go to the players backpack, right? It's on the tool one and the tool one. So what we want to locate is we already have this, right? The parent, we have the parent. The parent is us, right? The tool. Oh no. The parent of the tool is the backpack. So what we need to do, tool equals dot script dot parent. So we have the tool already. The tool will be inside the players. Wait, I forget. So we have this tool. Can we just like local player or something like that? Like, can I just locate like local click equals to players. No. It should not be like game dot players, like game dot players like that dot click. No. Create player starts with integer value clicks.
All right, so these are challenges. You can
I need to look at the click here. I already have the player stats. I already have the player, right? This is always a problem. Like, oh, this is a problem when I'm making the game yesterday. I need to use like the local script, like to know whether this should be a local script. Like, if this is a local script, then I can get the. Can I change this into a local script? Like somehow, can I change this into a local script, or I just make a local script, new local script, right? And then in this script, I just copy everything and just put it here, right? It's a local script. So now it's only a script for myself. Isn't that how it goes? I don't know. I don't know. I'll try. Okay. Now I have this local script. Hmm. Does it still work? Does the tool one still work? Like, does it go here in the backpack? I have the tool. I have the local script. Does it still work? Yeah, it still work. It still work like really well. But right now, because this is a local script, I can I can look at the click by I can look at the player by yesterday. I already have hmm, local players equals to game dot get service. Okay, the players is players, right? And local player equals to players dot local player. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The local player. Local player is myself, right? And then local click equals to player dot wait, player dot leader stats. Oh, to send some message. You need a communication channel that both the client and server can access to create a remote event inside name it increment stats. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. understand. Okay, I cannot use a local script here, right? Dang, I'll just watch the video then. I think I kind of fail, no? No, it's not called failing. It's called it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. At least I managed to like make the leader start by myself, right? Cannot use a local script, no? Or should I use a local script or I fire? It's okay, it's okay. Don't worries. No worries, no worries. So this local script, I'll just delete it then. It's fine.
Pause the video to try this out on your own first and come back here. But we're still gonna go through this together. Okay, so is make script. We're going to players. We're going to do player added. Okay, we'll delete this, and then we will do plus sign, and then we're going to insert. Make sure that every player has player stats because that's the fifth requirement for this. So on our server script service, we're going to hit the plus sign, and then we're going to insert a new script. We're going to call the script player added. Okay, we'll delete this, and then we will do a player added event by saying game.players.player added, and then colon connect function. And in these arguments, we're going to pass in a player. So now we're going to create a folder called leader stats. We're going to, and now we're going to add our clicks value. So for clicks. So now whenever we play the game, we
Oh, it's on. I should have the script inside the server script service. So I will this server script service.
should be able to have a leader stats
Mm-hmm.
folder with the value clicks in there. We're going to be using this to record how many clicks the player clicks on the tool. Okay, so now that that's done, let's open up our tools script. And the first thing we're going to do is play sound whenever the tool is equipped. Section for audio as well. Insert this. So and we're going to add it in. So we'll say local by saying static equals tool handle equals tool dot handle. And then we will make reference to our new sound that we added in. So we'll say local static equals tool dot static. So now down here, under our print statement for equip, we're going to play that sound by saying static and say colon play with the open and close parentheses. So this is a function used by Roblox's sound instances to be able to actually play the sound that's playing. So that, when we equip the tool, players holding down activation and change it appropriately. So up here, we're actually going to create the variable saying local is holding. This is going to be the variable we're going to use to check whether the player's holding. Set the value of is holding true to upscale colon scale to constantly change the handle's color randomly until the player lets go. So how we're going to do that is after we scale the tool, we're going to color randomly until the player lets be set back to false. So we're only going to have this loop occur when inside of our while loop. And what we will do is change the handle's color to a random color. So we're going to say handle dot color.
Oh, you want to make it when holding the key, okay. Well, hold do.
We're not going to use brick color. We're going to use regular color equals. And if you remember how to set a color property, there's three ways of doing it, but the most familiar method I know is using color3.fromRGB. And then we want this to be a random color, keep in mind. We're not just picking any color, but it's going to be random every single time. So we're going to have to use math.random statements for each of the red, green, and blue values. So we will say math.random, and then in these parentheses, we'll go from 0 to 255. And we're going to do the same thing for green and blue as well. So we're going to say math.random 0 255, and then math.random 0 255 yet again. So it's going to pick a random color every single time and random say math.random, and then in these parentheses we'll go from 0 to 255, and we're going to do the same thing for green and blue as well. So we're going to say math. And one important thing to remember is to add in a wait statement here. Otherwise, it's going to continuously run this line of code and it's going to crash Roblox Studio. So we have to say task.wait, and then we can have this wait statement be something pretty small, like 0.2 or something. We can also create like a static variable here by saying local wait time equals 0.2, and we can just throw in the wait time inside here. You don't have to do this, but it does make the code look nicer when you do that. And now the last thing we need to do is increment the player's clicks by 1 whenever the player actually does click. Now, here's a problem. We're using a script, and we cannot access the current player's leader stats because this script does not specify like your player specifically. So there is a workaround for that using remote events, but I haven't gone to that yet, so I don't expect you to know that right now. So
That's why, man, you need some remote event. I don't know that yet, and yeah, so it's normal that I cannot do it because I don't know what remote event yet, right? And there is something called set up the remote event. Yeah, I use Gemini and called like to set up the remote event. So it's true. You need to set that up. So what we need to do is increment start fire server coin one. Okay, so let's see a workaround. Hey, you wanna see what I make? Wanna see what I make? Let's see.
Video of you trying your first game, and I actually wanna see how it looks like.
Okay, this is not my first game. This is the game that I make. This I already have a backpack. You see? You see? You see?
Them like the picture is a cat ear.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't care what picture is. But when I click, boom, it get bigger. It will change color every 3 seconds. Ooh, it's good.
What
It's
the
good.
second one? Is the second one just the same thing?
Nah, the second one is
Still in
nah.
progress?
I just try to make something
What
right.
is that? No shoot.
It's when activate it deactivate it. Like when I click it, boom, it is shoot, right? When I deactivate it, it is no shoot. You understand? The true and false is just I just print. I just print the whole, like I don't need that. I don't need that. Like I can make something like really cool. Probably when I click it can shoot something out like a block and like a block and then boom boom boom.
So, genre are you trying to make?
I don't know. Wait, I wait, let me finish this first, okay? It's a little bit more.
So we're just going to hard code this statement just for the sake of this tutorial. And what I mean by hard code is we're going to get our literal player that's inside of the game. So this will not work in a regular Roblox game. So I'm just going to put that out there. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to say game.players, and we're going to try to find
Dang, you cannot do that to me, man. And you say like work around, no remote events, right? I still haven't, I still don't know what that is, but I guess I'm happy that it's normal that I cannot do it. But if I can do it like IO Gemini and I try to understand what that is, I think it's gonna be good. But I'll just do this first, okay?
our player's name, because for each player it's going to be different. So we're going to say colon find first child, and then inside of here we're going to put in the name of the player. Now for me, it's Brawl.
You cannot do that, right? You cannot do like a hard coded game. The players, the five percent, like I'll make my name like this.
Battle, but for you it's probably a different profile name. So I would suggest changing this to yours, and then we're going to say dot leader stats dot.
Nah, man. Nah, you cannot do that to me, man. You cannot do that to me. Wait, you didn't change the click. Oh, click.value, okay. Wait, the value didn't go up.
Clicks, and then remember clicks.
What is the name of the script? Wait, let me see. Oh, it's click with big. The name is click. Like, oh, in the players. What is the name again? Click. Oh yeah, big C, big C, big C, big C. Still didn't work. Still didn't work.
Is an int value, but we want to change the value property of that int value. So we're going to say dot value, and we're going to increment it by 1 by saying plus equals.
Oh, value is big V. Okay. Still didn't work. Why? Why is it didn't work? Oh, it waits for 3 seconds. Okay, bro. You cannot do that to me. Woo-ha! I will make it wait here. So it doesn't change color. But when I hold it, it will like wait 3 seconds. Oh, when I click it, it will wait 3 seconds, but it will change the color. Dang, that is really cool, man. Okay, I did it.
Equals 1. Our new tool that we just created for the first time. All right, so I'm in the game. If we equip the tool, we can actually see that our tool is pretty normal. But if we hold down our button, we can actually see that the scale of the tool changed, and also the color of the handle is randomly being picked every single time the loop is iterating every 0.2 seconds. If we let go, then the part goes back to scale size 1, and we get a click as well because the loop was finished, so that the script could like increment the click for us. So if we do it again, it's just going to clicks increment. So if keep doing this for as many times as we want, it's like kind of stupid, but I mean it's still pretty cool to do. So that was basically your challenge for this video. If you were able to do it, then congratulations.
Will you
Leader
make it
stats
too?
dot clicks, and we're going to increment it by 1 by saying plus equals 1. So this is how you do it. And I think this is basically our entire script. So let's go into the game, hit test and hit play, so that we can see our new tool that we just created for the first time. All right, so I'm in the game. If we equip the tool, we can actually see that our tool is pretty normal. But if we hold down our button, we can actually see that the scale of the tool changed, and also the color is of the handle is randomly being picked every single time the loop is iterating every 0.2 seconds. If we let go, then the part goes back to scale size 1, and we get a click as well because the loop was finished, so that the script could like increment the click for us. So if we do it again, it's just going to do.
There, I understand. I understand it now. I understand it now. So it will change like this. It will make the hold to 2 seconds. What will happen is when I click, it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. Like it wait. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Do the same thing, it'll keep picking a random color for this part and keep the scale of the part to 2. But then as soon as we let go, it goes back to normal and our clicks increment. So we can just keep doing this for as many times as we want. It's like kind of stupid, but I mean, it's still pretty cool to do. So that was basically your challenge for this video. If you were able to do it, then congratulations. So that's the basics of tools. I've gone over the general aspects of tools, but tools are definitely going to be something you will use as a Roblox game developer for your games. Almost any Roblox game you can think of will have tools in some sort of way, and there's so many different ways of implementing tools inside of a Roblox game. This is just one of the more basic rundowns of actually creating tools and using them inside of a Roblox game. I hope you learned something new from this episode, and if you have, you can leave a comment telling me if you find my scripting tutorials to be helpful, and also leaving a like would be very appreciated too. But that's pretty much gonna be it for this episode. Join my Discord, link is in
Oh
the description.
yeah,
I'll see you
leaving
next
a
episode.
like. Why didn't I leave a like in every video that I watch? I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, I leave a like. Okay, here's the like. Boom. I like you. I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't subscribe to you yet, but I already subscribed to you now. So it's cool.
Take care. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Okay, it's done. Today is done. What do I learn? There is equip. There is unequip. Unequip. And there is also activated and deactivated. Okay, that's what I learned. It's easy, simple. Okay, it's done. Today is done. Thank you for today. So, see you guys. Bye bye.